Reading the Quran as a chronological history ignores its underlying architecture. Instead, it functions as a self-referential matrix, plotting the specific physics of existence. This foundational structure operates as a recursive hypercube, executing strict coordinate geometry. Within this geometry, the dual caustic universe divides reality into two interacting layers. The first layer is the D10 field, or the driver. It is the measurable, causal, physical world of mass and consequence. The second layer is the I9 field, known as the witness. This is the imaginal, non-local quantum coherence of origin. These fields function as an integrated system, operating with the precision of a PN semiconductor junction. This image details the physical point contact within a transistor block. Physical manifestation can only occur at the exact intersection of these two distinct fields. Human existence is the raw physical translation of the unseen origin interacting at this structural boundary. At the center of this intersection lies the primary testing node. It is the family unit, or the unified pair. The node sits on the boundary line separating the I9 wave state from the lower D10 solid state. The pair serves a single structural purpose: to transmit I9 light into D10 physical reality. But at coordinate 722, this node violently fractures into binary halves. This occurs because immediate physical attachment in the D10 field temporarily overrides the I9 command. This pulls the pair down into the testing field. This systemic entropy creates a catastrophic global flood that entirely corrupts and overtakes the lower physical operating plane. Coordinate 1144 executes a macro reboot. The global flood purges the D10 field of corrupted carriers. The ark's landing on the mountain, the high ground of coordinate 1144, completes this purification. By grounding the remnant in a purged field, the system resets the matrix board. This preserves a functional pair for the traversal. Within the active D10 field, the rebooted pair faces engineered attacks designed to disrupt their structural stability. The first phase is the 2-102 separation threat. This hazard appears in the dense architecture of Babylon. Taghut magic functions as a noise field, engineered specifically to sever the marital bond. Severing the D10 pair prevents the generation of a stable I9 continuity, effectively isolating the individual nodes. If the pair cannot be physically severed, the system activates a secondary hazard, the 37-125 inversion. Historical misunderstanding labels this as the worship of Baʁl, often depicted as a defunct pagan statue. This misconception hides the actual threat, a structural inversion native to the matrix itself. Within the strict Qur'anic lexicon, the Baʁl operator refers to the husband, partner, or physical provider, claiming absolute authority over the node. In this network graph, the female node is forced into a tight horizontal orbit around an expanding male node. This demonstrates the Baʁl trap. When the wife elevates the physical provider over the I9 origin, the physical world becomes her absolute source of security. Substituting D10 authority for I9 origin shatters the link. False gravity crushes the nodes, leading to critical systemic failure. Coordinates 6610 and 2757, the wives of Nuh and Lut, represent catastrophic executions of this topological failure. Betraying the unseen message for physical security ensures the isolated node remains in the rubble of a collapsed system. Baʁl is the continuous idolatry of prioritizing physical survival over systemic truth. Defeating the Baʁl trap requires a direct I9 override, modeled by the female reader in hostile environments. Asiya executes this override at coordinate 6611. Asiya is trapped within a pharaoh system that claims absolute divine lordship. Even within the geometric weight of this D10 tyranny, she maintains a vertical orientation. Asiya inverts the trap by stripping the physical husband of all authority, demanding a vector straight to origin without attachment to her environment. Her override secures the olive tree on the mountain, while the false Baʁl pole is drowned. The second model is the Queen of Sheba at coordinate 2744. She began by worshipping the sun, the highest observable D10 power source available to the senses. When Solomon shattered her physical illusion, she instantly realigned her vector from horizontal D10 worship to vertical I9 submission. Alignment requires rejecting the gravitational pull of the most powerful physical forces in the matrix. The traversal reaches its absolute 7-node closure at the coordinate of Ibrahim and Sarah. At coordinate 1173, Sarah laughs at the physical impossibility of a divine decree. She identifies Ibrahim as her Baʿl, or husband, but strictly bounds him to his biological limitation as an old man rather than a deity. The angels respond by confirming the decree, proving that I9 light bypasses D10 limitations when the orientation is pure. This event enacts the 2259 resurrection protocol within a family node. Sarah's orientation creates a topological flip. Prioritizing the I9 decree over D10 limitations wraps coordinate 1173 back into the original 722 fracture, forming a completed Mobius loop. The fracture heals. The marital bond becomes a transparent medium for the unbroken flow of I9 light. The architecture is mapped, but the final variable is your individual choice to execute the coordinate. The blueprint is ready. When will you execute coordinate 1912 and take the book with strength?